Hey yo, what's going on, baby? This is Major from hoodhype.com, and you're looking at the Motorola Droid over on Verizon Wireless, and this is the full review. I had the phone for a while now, man. Should have, been got around to it, but I kind of got hit with a lot of phones at once and forgot to come back to what's right now my favorite, my favorite device on the market. But with all that being said, let's go ahead and get into the review and take a look at the hardware. First thing that comes to mind, man, when you pick up the Droid is that it's just a real solid heavyweight device. The phone's got a lot of metal, on the exterior. You do have the rubberized, back here, but aside from that, man, this phone's mostly metal, and then you've got the, large glass, screen, which is another thing that, kind of takes you as soon as you power up the phone. You take a look, it's got the 3.7-inch display, which is 480 by 854, so big time display, super bright, real high res. The other big plus about the Droid is the slide out keyboard. I know a lot of people love the touchscreen phones, but for me, having the slide out it's invaluable. I know a lot of people say this keyboard is a little bit flat. They say the keys should have been more raised or what have you, but I tell you what, after a few days of typing on it, you'll get the hang of it. It is a little bit off center, and one of the knocks that I have about the hardware is this gold directional pad over here. I think if they had ditched that, or my biggest suggestion is if you're gonna put something there, why not make it a trackball? I thought that would have worked a whole lot better, but that's neither here nor there. The keyboard is the way it is, and it's definitely functional. It just takes a little bit of getting used to. The phone quality on this device is loud and clear. It's probably as good as any phone that I've ever used on the Verizon network, so it's good quality. The processor on here is, I believe, it's 558 megahertz, so it's plenty fast. That's one of the big claims to fame with this device, is the speed of it. So whether you're browsing or just going from app to app or multitasking, works out real well. Down here across the bottom, you've got I believe this is going to be pretty much the standard for a lot of the Android phones going forward. Got your back button, menu, home, search. Got your antenna, which is kind of like built into the lip of the phone that you see here. Over here, you got your USB charger port. Over here on this side, you got your volume rocker. You've got a quick launch button, which will launch your camcorder. Then you got your 3.5 millimeter headphone jack right here, and then you got your power and lock button. So the hardware is real top notch, man. It's a heavy phone. It's big. To me, as phones go, it's kind of it's like the muscle car of smartphones. It's not super sleek. It doesn't have the rounded edges, and it may not be visually appealing as some of the other smartphones, but I mean, I like it. It's got a rugged design, and it works for me. Let's go ahead and take a look at the software now. Moving ahead, this was the first Android phone rocking 2.0 to hit the market, and Android 2.0 gives you the different looking icons that you see here, as opposed to what you get on the Aris or the HTC Hero. This was also the first phone to launch with the Google navigation spoken turn-by-turn, which to me, man, I absolutely love it. It works real good. I've used it on a number of occasions. It's pretty accurate. I mean, there's times where if you're on like a service road and there's a lot of other streets, kind of tying in, every now and then it'll get lost, but it's pretty good. This being, Android, is definitely customizable. You've got 3 different panels that you can swipe to. You can see over here, you've got some of the widgets. I got the YouTube music player widget, and this is kind of my multimedia panel. And then over here, I've got my kind of my social panel, where I got Droid, Facebook, Google Talk, and so that works out real well. You got your notification panel, which comes down from the top, and messaging on this phone also works real well. It supports the threaded messaging, so each text message will come in and it'll just thread it all together instead of treating everything as a separate mail message. And you just saw, or probably just heard, Gmail go off. And you'll see here, I mean, Gmail looks a lot like you know, the Gmail that you're gonna have, you know, on your desktop machine, and it works, you know, real fast. Just everything about the software is just really well done, and I really don't have, you know, too many complaints. I know on Android 2.1, which is gonna be hitting the streets real soon here, I believe they went to 5 panels, and I will say, I mean, 3 is cool. You see here, I've still got room, but you know, as you have the phone for more time, you're gonna download more and more apps, and eventually I can see where having 3 panels may not be enough. Speaking of downloads, let's take a look at the Android market, and you see here right now it's telling me that I've got updates for, you know, a few of the applications that I have installed. But the Android market is real fast, and they're actually up to, I want to say, I think they just hit 20,000 applications. So believe me, there's a lot of boo-boo in there. There's a lot of stuff that you'll download it, and after a couple of days you'll just be like, man, why do I have this? I definitely don't need it. But you know, the Android market is growing fast, and I don't know if they'll ever, you know, catch up to Apple. Apple did have a real big head start, but you know, the market, and you know, here's the main menu. This phone also, forgot to mention, it does of course have Wi-Fi, and the Wi-Fi makes the browsing, you know, even faster. So with hitting on the browsing, let's go ahead and take a look at some of the multimedia features on this phone. Let me pull that up. And that's actually boy genius right there. Let's go to a new window. And this supports the tab windows too, so you can have multiple, you know, multiple windows running, which is cool. And switch and toggle back and forth. There's Google, which is the home page, and I definitely like the bookmarks that they have on here. You go to those and you'll get kind of a preview of, you know, whatever website that you're looking to go to before you actually go to it. And I'm on Wi-Fi now, so you see it's running actually pretty quick, and pages get, you know, rendered almost, you know, exactly how they look on your computer. There's a look at our blog, and you see that comes up and looks real good. The video recorder on this phone too is top notch. You know, you get DVD quality video out of it, which is 720 by 480, and it's actually pretty dang clear. I mean, I've used the flip cam quite a bit, and this would actually, you know, if you want to ditch your flip, or if you were somewhere and didn't have it on you, this will definitely, you know, fill in a pinch. Does a good job. The camera on here, I'm not super crazy about. It's got the, you know, 5.0 megapixel, but I mean, the pictures sometimes they look a little bit grainy. The flash on there it's bright, but I'm just, you know, not that crazy about it. They did fix the autofocus feature, because when the phone first dropped, that thing was, you know, super, you know, out of focus. It was tough to really get a good picture for those first couple of days, but Google fixed that relatively quick and works, you know, a lot better than it used to. I guess really the only big complaint I would have is the media player, and it's, you know, it's a solid media player. It does the trick, it plays songs, but there's just really no extra features to it. No EQ, so besides just, you know, playing your playlist and doing a shuffle, that's really all you got. It's kind of bare bones. So going forward, I would like to see Google maybe pay a little more attention to that area, and, you know, just kind of dress that up and give you some more features to play with. But that's really just splitting hairs, and that's more or less just getting picky. Just, you know, gotta have something to complain about. But all in all though, man, this is, like I said, it's my, you know, favorite phone out at the moment. I gotta give it a score of a 8.5 out of 10. I gave the Droid a solid 8, but this phone to me is just definitely a half notch, you know, a half step ahead of that phone. And if you're on Verizon, this is right now the go-to device. But stay tuned, because Verizon's got some, you know, other phones that'll be hitting the market real soon. But right now, this is the best phone out there. $199 on a 2-year contract, or if you're up for, you know, new every 2. And also they're running a deal right now. You get the Droid, and you get a Droid Ares for free. So can't beat that. This is Major for HoodHype.com. I'll be back at y'all real soon. Peace.